right, everybody, welcome back to Versus Live. My name's Corey Ballmeister.
And I'm Ross Merriam.
And we got Rob in the booth. Say what's up, Rob.
What's up, Rob?
Rob will be taking all your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Feel free to tag at Star City Games, and he will get his favorites sent over to us. We are continuing our showdown to see if Temur Reclamation is just the unbeatable force that it's kind of been pre-M21. We basically kept Temur Reclamation out of our standard decks because there's not much new. We know it's going to be good. We know not much is going to get added to it. But now we're
a couple rewinds, and that's about it.
Exactly. But like even that is not stock. You know, like not many people are even playing that. So now it's the sense that now we're getting back into the real world where people will play whatever they know to start and just be like, okay, I'm going to see if this deck can be beat out of me first, and then I'll try something new. But if not, people just play the deck that they are good at, that's been winning when it comes to like week 1, week 2 of tournaments, or you jam mono red and try to surprise everyone while they're trying to figure out strategies. So we're going to see a lot of Temur Reclamation this weekend. I wouldn't be shocked if it's like 25% minimum. But I could even see it 18.
20 to 25.
Yeah,
would be my guess.
I could see Bant even being more, personally, just because people are really high on some of the new cards, and it's a proven strategy. So that could be.
People love their band decks.
Exactly, but Temur Reclamation amongst pros is, and everybody basically is still the best deck. It's going to be the one with the target on its back. So we put three decks that we think have a chance to take it down, and my second deck here is Simic Flash. We played it on Tuesday, but we were pretty much harping that, hey, let's try Nissa in this deck. I want to see what it's like. So I made some changes to this deck to facilitate what I would actually play, and this would be step number 1 if I wanted to play this deck anyways. If I can't beat Temur Rec, I'm not going to play it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's a deck that on paper is sort of designed to beat this matchup.
You would think, yeah.
Yeah, Nissa really helps out. Sort of in general by giving the deck a notch more power. Yeah. Even if it is a bit of an awkward fit in a deck that wants to hold up mana on its opponent's turn. Yeah. It's just such a powerful card. If you untap it, the game basically ends.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think Nissa is going to shine in this matchup. Like, I don't think it's going to be amazing. Yeah. It's definitely better for decks that like are more beatdown decks, but can also have like shifting Ceratops in the board. It's basically just a fear of shifting Ceratops that I want this deck to have other ways to beat it besides amateurs.
And you now have Lofty Denial, which is the big addition from Core Set 2021, which plays well with the Nissa when you untap that Breeding Pool and have 2 mana up on your opponent's turn.
Exactly. So, Breeding Pool or the Triomes now are just, with Nissa, are just insane. And so we just added more Breeding Pools. So I don't see why we're taking out the Nissas, So
adding more Breeding Pools, and you have a very good generic 2 mana counter spell. But previously it's been like hold up Mystical Dispute, hold up Aether Gust after I untap that land. Yep. Now you have a Lofty Denial card that can counter anything from, Wilderness Reclamation to Questing Beast to Uro to, claim the Firstborn.
Yeah, the thing is, though, it is fragile. Like if I just have 1 flyer and it's like, okay, I want to try to counter this, you got 2 mana open and you Dragonfire 3 mana, I guess, because you actually would have to pay the 1. But if you remove my flyer and then make it so it is only a counter unless you pay 1, then it is scary. So it's like this is a perfect card that is just 2 mana counter unless you pay 4. It has vulnerabilities, and you're a deck that can exploit it with all the bounce you have, with all the Scorching Dragonfires and whatnot. So I'll be interested to see how it goes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I will be on the play.
Sounds good.
I will be casting Growth Spiral on turn 2.
Me too now.
Well, that's not fair. We'll let him do that. Yeah. Rob, is this your doing? Okay, well, I have the Growth Spiral, so that's
okay,
sorry, Ross.
And I will keep.
I'll keep as well.
Steam Vent School.
Okay. I will play an Island and pass to you.
Forest, pass.
I will play a Sailor.
I will play a Growth Spiral.
Okay.
Put a Stomping Ground in tapped.
Okay. Doing that to avoid any counter spells. That makes sense to me. I am going to play a Forest and attack.
19.
Your go.
Last time.
Okay.
You're up.
And step, Growth Spiral. I can do those too. Resolve? Yeah. Nobody ever knows to counter the growth spiral or not.
No.
Okay. Untap.
I think the things that Corey ramps to are pretty scary, and I want to buy some time before they start happening.
That makes sense.
Maybe that was bad.
It's nobody ever knows if it's correct to counter it or not.
I'm now feeling like it was bad. I'm regretful of that decision.
Okay, and then I'll pass to you.
I was just mad that Corey had the growth spiral.
Yes, I know.
I was like a child seeing you with a toy that I want.
Yeah,
you can't have that. That's mine.
Can't have that. I'm the only growth spiral deck.
Ketria Triumph. Pass turn.
End step growth spiral.
This is nonsense. Do not like this. That resolves.
Okay. Draw. I will put in a temple.
Even has a better land to put on the battlefield with it.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's like the Mia Hamm, Michael Jordan commercials. Anything you can do, I can do better.
All right. I kept on top. Now I'm a little afraid of a Shark Typhoon, so I don't think I'm going to be attacking.
Coward.
I know.
I've never seen such cowardice.
All right, fine.
Don't poke the bear. Take 117.
Oh, you're at 17?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's attack 3 times.
All right, that's fair. I will play a Breeding Pool tapped and pass to you.
Pass the turn.
Ambusher.
Well, that's not good. That's not good at all.
Good. Hoping to punish you.
This is why I shouldn't have disputed that growth spiral.
Yeah, that seems like a better dispute target right now. Resolve?
It does resolve. I'm going to do something while you're tapped out.
Okay.
I'm going to shoot this for 2 and draw 2 cards.
Okie
Try to
dokie.
find a way to deal with this ambusher.
All right.
But you can keep going.
Untap.
Nissa, attack you for 7.
I will sack this. Get a forest, play a Nissa, attack you for 7.
Yeah. Well, as soon as Corey sacks a Fable Passage, you know he has the Nissa, because otherwise you just play the passage, attack for 4, and go to the end step.
Yeah, okay, actually, it might be a little bit worse than that. We're going to go like this. Thank you for that. I'll attack, and then before blockers, I'll play an Ambusher. Take 8.
I'm at 9.
Your go. Oh, Nissa. So good.
This might be the worst day for Ross in this studio ever by the end of this.
Whoa, worst day so far. Come on. What are you doing?
It was my only out. You were distracted. Got to play your outs.
The land does have vigilance.
That's true. But I tapped it for mana.
Oh, you did. I forgot. I'm dumb. Ross's sleeping motion just distracted me so much.
Yeah.
Well, Cedric's finally here.
All right. Cedric, you just missed the action. It's just a mono green beatdown fest here.
My cards don't do anything. I could have left up negate that turn, but I had 2 expansions in my hand. And
yeah, I mean, if you leave up negate, all I do is attack with Ambusher, make a wolf, and then I Ambusher. That's the thing, is it's that thing when people have to answer your other cards, you use Nissa just as a fact that now you have to beat whatever else I had, and now just the endless flow of 3/3s. It just becomes too much.
Yeah.
You know? All right. Well, that is game number 1, and we're going to head to the sideboard to see if Ross can pick up a game here with the best deck. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Versus Live, where we are sideboarding in our matchup between Temur Reclamation and Simic Flash. From my side, the plan is to try to match Corey a little bit and be more of a Flash-style deck myself.
Makes sense.
But with a more powerful end game. Because when you play Flash mirrors, those styles, the games tend to go long. Because it's hard for one deck to generate a significant tempo advantage because they're both built to do it.
Yeah.
So you usually just sort of maintain parity, and then you get into the late game, and I'm going to be a more powerful deck in the late game.
Would you say you commence the end game?
Not only when I want to, though.
Of course, yeah.
So we do have some commence end games. We got a couple extra Night Pack Ambushers to supplement the one on the main, and some more Mystical Disputes to help out in these counter wars. The cards I'm cutting are cards that I often have to tap out or tap low for, which makes it hard to resolve and leaves me vulnerable to you being able to counter them and then untap and resolve a big threat. So those are some Uros. You always want to leave in at least one because it's so powerful, and the first copy is so valuable. So trimming 2 of those, going down a copy of both Expansion Explosion and Wilderness Reclamation, and then trimming some of our weaker interaction. Negate and Gust are both fine in the matchup. I'm leaving 2 Gusts in, and this is where things get really tough in sideboarding because a lot of cards, they're valuable in certain spots and then pretty bad in other spots, and you're just not sure, do I want it at all? How many do I want? And it really is just kind of a judgment call here, and I decided to go with 2 Gusts, 0 Negate.
I mean, that's the tough part too. I have Negates in my sideboard as well, but we're both having Night Pack Ambushers, that are green and uncounterable by Negate. And you want to have some Gust because you want to be able to have some way to interact with it, because neither of our decks can actually really kill an Ambusher, except a giant explosion or something like that. So sideboarding from both sides becomes very difficult. I decided to take out 1 Rewind. The Gilded Goose was the only cards I really wanted to take out, just because the ramping aspect is not as important because we go pretty long.
Yeah, especially in the post-board game.
Yeah, Rewind can be tagged by Mystical Dispute. While it's insanely powerful, I think it does lose some value against other blue decks.
If it resolves, it's really good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then down to 2 Nisses here. Just because it is still a very powerful effect that you have to Gust.
All those out.
Yeah, get them all out, huh? And then bring in a couple Aether Gust, and then the other 2 Mystical Disputes. Disputes just in the blue mirror are going to be insane, but they still don't counter the stuff you really want to counter, the cycling Shark Typhoons that commence the end games, or this if I tap down a little bit too low. So we'll see how this goes. I could definitely see changing some configurations play draw here.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is dependent on what you think your opponent's going to be doing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely, and especially with the SCG events this weekend, they are open deck lists, so you know what's going on. But then it's still harder, not harder, but it's still just as hard because you don't know exactly how many cards they're going to be bringing in. If they're going to abandon the Gust strategy, it is just really tough to pinpoint how these decks sideboard in blue mirrors.
It's one of those situations in paper where I would be reluctantly sideboarding 15 in, 15 out, so I don't show my opponent exactly what I'm doing. And I would be watching my opponent and kind of see okay, how many cards are they bringing in? What do I think exactly that they're doing? Because it's so important to have an idea of what they're doing and then react to that with your sideboard plan.
That unfortunately is one of the biggest tells that players that don't do that give away is it's very clear that they just took out 3 cards and then they brought in 3 cards. Then you just think, well, okay, so I'm pretty much playing the main deck configuration with some extra targeted cards for my matchup and stuff, but that kind of information is definitely rough.
Well, the last time I tried to go 15 in, 15 out to conceal information,
you left in the Rex Age?
I left the Rex Age of the sideboard, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Smart. All right, Rob, do you got any questions for us while we get ready for this second game here?
Yeah, so Storm's Wrath is something that we've seen cycled in and out of the Temur Reclamation decks as meta changes. If this Simic Flash deck got bigger, is that a card you look to, or is just the counter magic on the other side just make you not want to play a sorcery like that?
Definitely not a Storm's Wrath matchup. Storm's Wrath is only dictated by the amount of aggro around, so more Mayhem Devils, more Jund Sacrifice, more Rakdos Sacrifice, more mono green. That's when you want Storm's Wrath. It does kill, all the creatures of Night Pack Ambusher and stuff, but you don't get a good time to cast it. And then there's also that time where you go to Storm's Wrath away an Ambusher and a Wolf, and they're just second Ambusher, you're dead.
Yeah, it's just not reliable enough.
Yeah, so not for that matchup. It's for aggro, and right now we're not seeing the high level of aggro that would make me want Storm's Wrath. I could see 2 in the board, but I think just Bone Crusher Giant is a better at least mono red card. That's the best card you can have from that deck against mono red.
Yeah, I agree. It's just not the right metagame for Storm's Wrath, and yeah, that doesn't make sense against Simic. You really want to be operating efficiently and not tapping out on your turn. Yeah. So even though it does answer Night Pack Ambusher, it is an inefficient answer, or at parity answer, 4 mana for 4 mana.
Yeah.
Then that forces you to tap out in your turn, and you really want to avoid doing that.
And honestly, that's just a product of how good these 4-drop green creatures are that have 4 toughness. Gem Razor, Questing Beast, and Night Pack Ambusher. They really
shifting Ceratops.
And Shifting Ceratops, but that one's uncounterable. But the ones that are counterable, they're all still very tough to deal with when they resolve. So you don't have any, lava coil kind of instant speed effect. Like if Scorching Dragonfire was 4 damage, all those cards are much worse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're almost unplayable.
Exactly. But the fact that you can only gust these cards makes them insane, So, all right. Let's battle.
Let us battle. I do not believe I am lucky enough here.
Yeah.
I have a 1-lander with an opt. I need to hit 3 more land drops. It's
a little risky.
Too much to ask.
I actually think this hand is quite strong if we can get a little lucky in our first 3 draw steps. I'm going to keep it. If I didn't have this, I would mulligan. And it's still even close with that, but a risky keep. That's my middle name. Corey Risky Keep Ballmeister. Yeah.
It's a weird middle name.
I know. My mom, she didn't want to go with just the normal middle name. No.
Alan.
It's like, this guy, he's going to keep some risky hands.
Yeah. I can just tell.
All right, Rob, you got one more question for us?
Yeah, so we talked about it a little bit before, but Histeus was saying they just finished this week's Bash Bros podcast, and we're seeing they were wondering if they're seeing the 4-color Yorion deck today, which we're not. But how do you feel it has a chance to stack up in the meta?
So I played it last night. Just testing it out for the first time. I went 5-1, and it looked really strong. It's a very reactive deck, and straight reactive decks scare me a little bit, just because if you draw the wrong interaction, it's not great. But I'm going to be doing a little streaming with it later on this week, so we'll find out together.
Okay.
But apparently Brad's already off it, so...
This is a perfectly fine 6er. We'll put the opt on the bottom.
Okay. Opt on the bottom. Are you feeling okay?
Since we're always where opt goes.
Oh, okay.
Then that's when you scry, and then you draw the next one.
Okay. All right. Pass to you.
Have to awkwardly lead on this castle since our other land is a stomping ground.
Of course.
18 and pass the turn.
All right. Pretty solid draw there. I'm going to go with land go.
I would like to play a growth spiral.
I will dispute that one. Didn't want to give him a chance to get to 4 lands this turn and just sneak in something underneath my counter spells. So I'm going to play a Blast Zone on 1 and then pass to you.
I really dislike the Blast Zone just having to have a die on my land.
I know. It's just not clean.
Now I have my own. Pass turn.
All right. End step. I'm going to grow spiral.
That's fine.
Draw. No land drop.
Perfect.
Yikes. The jig is up. All right. Here go.
Okay. Well, there can't be an IPAC ambusher, so this will be a pretty safe Sharky Shark.
Okay. Yep.
Nice little 2/2 Sharky Shark.
Not bad.
Sharky Shark and the Funky Bunch.
Yes. Everyone's favorite band.
Everyone's favorite.
Okay, Molly for 2.
All right, 18.
Let's get funky. 18 all. And I'm going to go to 16 and play Wilderness Reclamation.
Wilderness Reclamation, huh? That is scary. You took 2, so you gotta have a dispute. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad for me.
I don't like it.
Well. Yeah, that resolves.
Okay, I would like to go to my end step.
Yep.
Trigger on the stack, I'll float a blue.
Okay. I will make a 1/1 shark.
Okay. I'm not doing anything with the mana. You're
okay. Cycle. Trying to hit land drops. Wow.
It's not the sound of a man who hit land drops.
No, it's not. Well, we took a risk and we failed. I'll move to end step.
I will scry 2.
Okay.
Don't think there's anything you can do at instant speed to punish me.
At this point, you're so far away from mana, I just...
Top.
Okay, I am going to Growth Spiral.
Yep.
I just have to get lucky. All right, we did. And now, is there anything I want to do now while you're tapped out? Have lots to do, but none of them are going to be particularly good. Yeah, do your thing.
Attack for 2.
Okay, 16.
So you got 16 all.
Yep.
Go to end step.
Trigger on the stack, I'll sack Fabled Passage.
So we are in end step, or is it the second main that you're doing?
Just do your thing. I won't do anything.
So trigger on the stack.
Yep.
Float a bunch of mana.
Yep.
Untap. Play Ambusher. Float a blue.
Okay. That resolves.
Pass turn.
Okay, still at end step. Yeah, we're just too far behind on mana. We kept a 3-lander. No, I did keep a 2-lander. Yeah, and got max punish, but end step Aether Gust.
I will use the blue floating to dispute that.
Okay. Untap. All right. I will pass to you.
So I will shock to 14.
Okay.
I will send with my creatures.
It's pretty good. Attacking is good. Yeah, don't think there's anything I want to do here. I'll just take 6.
Brings you to 10.
Yep.
I would like to pass priority in my second main phase.
I'm going to keep you in your second main. And attempt to Petty Theft Wilderness Reclamation. And sure.
Get a wolf.
With the wolf trigger on the stack. Yeah, nothing.
Okay. I was going to say, look how cute it is. Just wants to come and play.
It is cute. It is cute.
Pass the turn.
End step.
4 in hand over there? 5 in hand?
I believe, yeah, 4. End step, I'll just play a Brazen Borrower.
That's fine.
Okay. Untap. Not a great draw there.
Someone needs a second green mana.
I will pass to you. I will block this shark. Actually, before blocked, I'm going to Petty Theft Ambusher. This is on an adventure, and I will block Borrower to your shark.
Take 2, go to 8.
Yep.
Got 3 in hand now?
Yep. Or 4, sorry.
4. Pass the
turn. Considering playing Brazen Borrower here, but doesn't seem worth it. Tap, draw. Still don't want to attack into a possible Shark Typhoon, so I will say go.
On your end step, I will play Nightpack Ambusher.
Okay. I will play a Lawfully Denial. I got a shark.
Okay.
All right.
Let's get in for 2.
Okay, I'll go down to 6.
I will go to 12.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
End step. Ambusher.
I will gust that.
Gustaroo, huh? Okay. Probably want to keep this. I don't see why not. I'll put it on top.
Yep.
On top. Draw. Maybe it's time to get aggressive with this shark. Maybe not. Okay, I'll pass to you.
Okay. On your end step, I will make a 3/3 shark.
Okay.
Any ambusher?
It's a good question. It's a good question.
That's why I asked it.
Yeah, you talked me into it.
You have 2 cards now?
I have 2, yep.
That was a good draw. It's a really good draw.
I'm scared.
Some might say best possible draw.
Uh-oh. You getting lucky again?
Wilderness Reclamation.
Yep, that resolves.
Attack for 3 in the air.
Okay, I'll go down to 3. Actually, maybe I want to chump this. Yeah, I'll chump it.
Okay.
I'll stay at 6.
Stay at 6.
Yep.
So I have that. Okay, go to end step.
Yep.
So float 3.
Okay. Is it explosion time?
Yeah, well, I guess we'll do it for 5 on the ambusher.
5, okay.
3, 4, yeah, for 5.
Oh, I got a dispute.
And this was the best possible draw.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay. Yep. Going to be pretty impossible for me to come back now. This deck does not play from behind very well.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've got another explosion.
Yeah.
So.
You got it. All right, game 3. Game 3.
Yeah, it was going to be really awkward if I had to try to play around another dispute there on that explosion. Because it was like my only piece of gas left, but also my only answer to the ambusher.
Yeah.
But drawing the dispute is like, oh, this is perfect.
And I had another ambusher, so it was interesting if I wanted to even keep it on top, but I think it's right. But I'm not sure. All right, I'm going to see if I want to make any changes based on the play. Still like Brazen Borrower. I still like ambushers. Spectral Sailors seem pretty sweet. I haven't liked Aether Gust. That's one card that is just not great.
I gotta say, for as much flack as Standard gets for being kind of stale,
yeah,
the gameplay is really interesting.
The games are insane. I mean, Temur Reclamation, even Temur Rec Mirrors were great. It's they get really old, you know?
Do you see the match in the top 4 the last qualifier?
I didn't, because I pulled an all-nighter commentating that night before.
Yeah.
So right when I got eliminated by Sandy Dog in the last round, I was like, I'm going to bed.
That's probably the best match I've ever directed.
Yeah, I've heard great things.
Oh, with PV and Autumn, that second game was unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Me and Autumn had like one of the craziest games I've ever played at like my first match in the E-League. It just came down to a Shark Typhoon at the end that I had to draw in to bounce one of their flyers. And it was to just eliminate me from E-League, and I went on to win, like 6 more in a row. So I was very close to just being absolutely out if I didn't get extremely lucky against Autumn. So, nice,
it's
right?
a good time to get lucky.
It was a great time. Yep. All right, Rob, you got any questions while we shuffle up for our third game here?
Yeah, we've had a few here that are kind of like linked, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of people asking about playing like Nightpack Ambusher in the like Bant ramp decks, or kind of turning this Simic flash deck into a Bant flash deck to play Teferi. So how do you kind of feel about that like intermingling of the Simic flash deck and the Bant ramp deck?
I like the second option there more, where you just essentially put a Simic flash deck, add Teferi because it's just a phenomenal card.
Yeah.
But just putting Nightpack Ambusher into the Bant ramp deck, I don't think it's good enough, because I necessarily don't think Amateur is like great right now. It's the best threat from a flash deck, but even like Temur Reclamation, bringing them in, it can be good and stuff, but I haven't found them to be insane. And you're just playing so much at sorcery speed in that Bant deck that it's essentially just a 4-mana vanilla flash creature 99% of the time.
I don't want to be playing Ambusher in my Elspeth Conqueror's Death deck.
Exactly, but I am cool playing Teferi in my flash deck because it's just so powerful against like Temur Rec and stuff.
And it just makes her flash elements that much better. So it does go well in the deck. Essentially protects her Nightpack Ambusher. You're going to guarantee get at least one token out of it.
Yeah.
You know that you can win every counter war. It does work well in that deck.
Yeah, 100%. And there's some nice Bant flash lists in the standard qualifiers to get into this SCG Standard Championship this weekend. And I've had my eye on a couple of them. So if you want to go look at MTG Melee, there is some Bant flash lists there that I think are really interesting. Yeah. Shark Typhoon's still kind of the bane of existence, but, still. All right, so I get to go first this time. Let's try to keep a better hand. All right, this is a hand I'll keep.
I, too, have a hand.
Oh, I will scry.
In fact, I have 2 of them.
Oh, here go, bud.
I would like to play a Ketria Triome.
Okay. Land go.
Forest go.
Oh. I will just play a land go.
And Growth Spiral.
That's fine. Okay.
Anything?
Nothing.
Coward.
What would I cast?
I don't know. Something.
Done?
Yeah, it's just an island.
Yeah. I will play a Blast Zone and pass to you.
Corey Harlan, somebody named Harlan Fear in the chat would like to know, can you ask Corey how the weather is looking for Sunday?
Still great. Still great.
Fable Passage, go.
Okay. Wondering if I want to do anything this time. I still kind of think not. So I'll just untap. I will take 2.
That's not good.
And pass to you.
You're at 18.
Yep.
Now we're in a bit of a pickle.
Okay.
Because I don't have another land drop to make.
That is usually the dance. Yeah, it's like, all right, who's going to blink first? It's usually the person that stops hitting land drops.
So, I will play a Nightpack Ambusher.
Okay.
Not get Lofty Denialed.
It cannot. You're correct. It's definitely interesting here what to do. I think I don't know. I just don't know.
I like Corey not knowing. Because if his hand was awesome, I think his play would be easy.
Yeah.
But I think not knowing means your hand is good, but not great.
It's okay. Yeah.
I think you got a good hand, but not a great one.
So tough. Because I definitely want to do this, but that seems a little risky.
But you know what they say. You got to risk it to get the biscuits.
The biscuits are the marbles right now?
No, biscuits are biscuits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, who's buying biscuits first? All.
Yeah. We're going to go to Scratch Biscuit Company, get some biscuits.
Those are enjoyable.
They are. They're also closed.
That's fair too.
They close like 1 p.m.
All right, it resolves. Still at end step, I am going to petty theft it. All right, continue.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna dispute your petty theft.
Okay.
I got some cool stuff I want to do.
That's fair. That is fair. I will pay 3.
Okay. I will return Nightpack Ambusher to my hand.
The turn is yours. Use the dispute to just tap me out to have a big turn. Like, definitely great. But I think I had to do that. I can't let you just untap with Ambusher.
Okay. Let's shock to 18. So we got 18 all.
Okay.
Resolve my Reclamation.
Okay.
Go to end step, float 2, and play the Ambusher.
Yep.
Pass the turn.
All right. Let's play a land.
So we're behind on cards now, but I am ahead on the board by quite a lot.
Which is very important.
Yeah, and the Ambusher will start catching me up, making tokens.
I'll pass to you.
Don't think there's any reason to act.
Okay.
Don't want to attack into a shark. So I would like to go to my end step.
Still in second main. Tough spot. Tough spot.
You got 5 in hand over there?
I got 5, yep. Really tough spot here. Gotta deal with this stuff. All right, let's just play a Nightpack Ambusher in your second main.
Resolves.
Okay. Yeah, go to your end step.
I will get a token and then still have this trigger on the stack.
Yep.
I will float a bunch of mana.
Okay.
Untap. I will play a Commence the Endgame.
Okay.
I have 5 cards in hand.
Okay.
So that's a big ol' Cedric.
Yep. Anything else?
Nope, you can go.
Also, gross file.
Yep.
Draw. No land. Untap.
Yep.
All right, we're super far behind now. Gotta figure out a way to catch up. I don't know if our hand is going to do us many favors, but I will pass to you.
Near a second main phase, I will gust the Ambusher.
Okay. Just in so much trouble. I will attempt to rewind that.
I will dispute rewind. With 3 mana up to pay for yours.
Yeah. Bottom, I stand 0 chance this game, so pass to you.
I'll attack you for 12.
Yep, take it.
Now we have no fear of a shark. Good 6. Let's shock this, go to 16.
Okay.
End step, get a wolf.
Yep.
Float 7 with the Reclamation.
Yep.
I will make a 6/6 shark because that's bigger than you can possibly make next turn.
Yeah.
1 extra mana and it's lethal.
I'm total dead. I just I can't come back. These Lovely Denials were terrible.
Yeah. I have another dispute too.
Yeah.
I was flooding after that, but
yeah, your board was just too much, and it was like I wanted to try to get a game plan of ticking blast zone up, but I also wanted to try to just resolve some spell. It probably just would have been better if I just, but the thing is, it would have taken 3 turns, to get up to 4, because if I hit a land drop there, I wouldn't have had to play Ambusher, because then I can tick up to 4, blow it up next turn, and then that's not that big of a deal. But the fact that it had to be 2 turns, just don't know what I could have really done.
Yeah, it was way too slow. You drew 2 denials and never got a flyer down. So, and I had the huge mana advantage from resolving the Reclamation. So even fully charged lofty denials, like, they were going to be fine.
Yeah, they weren't going to be good enough, though. That's for sure. So yeah, that did not feel good from my side, though, to be honest. And that's a matchup that I would definitely want to be a beating.
Yeah.
And I just don't think it was there.
I think the key is, like, you've got your counter spells that are supposed to be good in this matchup, but when you're talking counter wars in standard, it all comes down to dispute. So even if you have some extra counter spells, if I'm drawing more disputes than you, and I did that game, I drew 3 of them. Your counters are going to look bad.
Yeah, and you just have the same tools. You turn into basically the same deck, except like you just saw Wilderness Reclamation pick me apart there, and I had that big turn when you played Ambusher. I had 5 mana, rewind Ambusher, but I didn't have the dispute. If I had the dispute, you're done. You're done. Rewind with dispute, play Ambusher, good luck, But without having it, that was my big decision point, to go for rewind or not. And instead I was like, okay, well, I'll just go for Brazen Borrower, knowing that if you dispute it, I get to pay for it. But even that was going to be great for you. So that could have been a scenario where I just had to go for it, or just play my own Ambusher and not even try to counter yours. But then if you kill my Ambusher, you gust my Ambusher, then I'm dead. Like, it was just all because of dispute. Everything unraveled there.
Yeah. That is a textbook example of the power of Mystical Dispute there.
Yeah.
Real, and that's one of the Mystical Dispute is such a. I hate that card.
Yeah,
I hate it.
Me too.
Because it's so good in counter wars, and that's when most of the time where you see it. But because it's so good, it's the counterspell that everybody has. It used to be like, maybe some dispels, negates, whatever existed in the format.
Yeah.
There would always be some like weird mix. And aggressive decks could take advantage of that, even if they were aggressive decks with counterspells. You would have an opponent with negates in their hand and you're beating down. Now, those blue aggressive decks, dispute is insane against them. And it really makes it difficult to enact that tempo game plan that I love. Because everybody has dispute, and dispute is so good against you. Even it's way better against you than it is in your deck. So I think that's one of the reasons that we haven't seen a lot of these flash style decks. So we did when the format wasn't quite as powerful. But as the format's gotten powerful, these really powerful decks that can also play dispute, it just becomes like
dispute and Shark Typhoon has killed the tempo.
Typhoon too.
That's the biggest thing there, and it's like the best tempo deck right now. I'll say it is mono green. I mean, you can just, it's not tempo in the natural sense where you get to bounce them and keep that going, but you put such weird, hard to deal with threats on the battlefield that they have to deal with that, and then you take advantage by playing a threat that's different, and like that's the kind of tempo game. I know that's not necessarily it, but that feels like more what you can do than anything else. But
it's just so hard to disrupt what these people are doing while still applying pressure. And you end up getting into the late game sometime, or situations like you were just in where I draw the disputes and you don't, and suddenly like your tempo elements just are embarrassing.
Agreed. Okay, Rob, you got any questions for us before we get ready for a third and final round for the marbles?
So do you feel, Yargs wants to know, do you feel that Narset, Part of Veil is playable against things like Reclamation and Bant Ramp to stop all their extra card draw, or should you just not be looking at like that for particular effect?
Yeah, I mean, that card's insane against Bant going into the late game, and it's pretty good against Temur Reclamation, because like if you can shut down their explosion, that's awesome. And that is one of the cards in Brad's 4-color Yorion list that I've been testing that makes it, that is really good to me. So yeah, I think that is a great card. It's just there's not an awesome shell for Narset right now, because the creatures are so good right now that you want to be playing a lot of those in your, even if you are playing, a Hydrate Krasis deck like that.
It's hard to want to tap out for that.
Well, and your hits are just bad. Like there's too many creatures in your deck, so you miss with Narset too often. Like Narset was insane in blue-white control, where you were only playing Dream Trawler and you were ECDing it back and stuff like that. But now the new blue-white control is just Bant with, the new green 2-drop, the Joriel, Uro, Hydroid Krasis, already that's pushing it if you can really be playing Narset at all with just that amount. And I know there's some decks that play Solemn, and
even more on top of that.
Yeah, it's just a tough card to play right now, but still one of the most powerful cards in Standard. So.
To me, that's a card that has also gotten significantly worse in a post-Shark Typhoon world.
Yep.
Because a lot of the decks where Narset was very good against had difficulty pressuring it.
Exactly. And you had Bertha Melidus to block on the ground, but now Shark, and even if you just make a 1/1 Shark when I play Narset, you're going to take it down eventually. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It definitely has gotten worse. Another question, have you got it?
That's about all for right now.
Okay, perfect. Well, we are a little ahead of schedule, but we can stretch this, our last match to a nice long one. Our last deck is going to be Mono Red Aggro, a deck that has definitely declined, but you look and see Sandy Dog destroying these SCG qualifiers, top 32'd the championship event. What was it, 2 weeks ago already?
2 weeks ago,
yeah, top 32'd it by beating me in the last round and just destroying me. It wasn't even close. And I was playing the Orzhov Doomfortold deck. A matchup that I thought was going to be good.
If you're playing Oath of Kaya, you gotta love playing against red decks.
I know, but I got annihilated. He played insanely well as well. So, but it's a deck that should beat Temur Reclamation, but I haven't necessarily had that experience constantly with the deck. So I'm curious to see how it's going to fare up. So we got one more match to see what we can do to beat Temur Reclamation for the events this weekend. You're not going to want to miss it. So we're going to take a short 5-minute break and we'll be right back on Versus Live.